Hello everyone. In this presentation, we are going to see about biggest of three numbers. So in previous video, we have seen biggest of two numbers. So in this video, we will see the biggest of three numbers. So C language we are going to use on this. Okay. So let me start. So first of all, the question we will read, write a C program to find the biggest of three numbers, read input from the user. Okay. So whenever we see read input from the user, it is mandatory. We have to give what? The scanf function here. Okay, scanf function we have to use, and no need of initializing values during the declaration. So during the declaration, if you assign values for the variables, that is called as initialization. So those things no need when we have this statement as a question. Read input from the user. Read input from the user in the sense we have to use scanf function. Okay. Okay, we will proceed. So find the biggest of three numbers. Okay, in previous video, we have seen find the biggest of two numbers. In that we had only one if condition, and for that one else. Okay, so if else we have used to compare two variables. Okay, and in this presentation, biggest of three numbers, we are going to use multiple ifs, multiple else also. Okay, so we will see how to give if condition and how it is working. Those things we will analyze in this program. Okay, so first of all, we know this is link section. Okay, first let me comment it quickly. Link section, and this one is void main. So main function, this is main function, and this bracket is nothing. Scope, main function scope begins. Main function scope begins. Okay, otherwise main function begins here. Okay, main function begins. Next we have declaration part. So in declaration part, so we have three variables. So this is a declaration part, declaration section. That is a proper word to use. Okay, next we have printf statement. Okay, so printf statement, and we have another here for scanf statement. Okay, these two statements is going to first let me see this printf statement. In printf statement we have given enter the values. Enter the values in the sense it is going to display, just to display on the console screen or a terminal screen. Okay, and next we have the scanf function. You know very clearly scanf function, it is going to take values from the user. Okay, so as per the question, we have to take what? Three numbers. So that we have declared three variables. In these three variables, three numbers we are going to take as a input. So for first variable, the first value will be assigned. For the second variable, second value will be assigned, which means we are going to give the input during the execution. And for C, we are going to assign another number. Okay, and we know very clearly the percentile d for what purpose we are using. Percentile d we are using for what purpose? Percentile d is the format specifier or placeholder for variable a, and the second percentile d is the format specifier or placeholder for variable b, and the third percentile d is the format specifier or placeholder for variable c. Okay, I hope till this we are clear. And why we have to use percentile d here? Because we have used integer data type in this. Okay, so integer data type, which data are considered as integer data type? A, B, C is considered as what? A, B, C considered as integer data type. So let me comment this printf statement quickly. To print text. So which text it is going to print? Enter the values. Okay. And next line, we have scanf statement, which is going to take 3 inputs, right? Gets inputs from the user. Okay. So here, how many inputs we are getting? Gets 3 inputs. Let me put 3 inputs from the user. Okay. Actually, the scanf function is nothing scanning. It is going to scan the keyboard. Okay. So here you see, scanf function is used to scan the keyboard for user input. Okay. That is the meaning actually. This is the meaning actually. Scanf means scan. F stands for function. Okay. Okay. Now we have if condition. We are going to compare values. You see, we have 3 variables. Okay. So what we are going to do? A we are going to compare with B and C. Okay, which means the first statement you see, A we are going to compare with B and with C. The first problem solved, which means we have to choose 2 if statements. The first if statement, we have A we are comparing with B. In second if statement, A we are comparing with C. Okay. So now if A is greater, then if A is greater than B, if it is true, then control will be coming to inside the if condition statement. Okay. So here if A greater than C, which means if it is true, then this statement will be printed, which means A is biggest. Okay. So here A we are comparing with B and A we are comparing with C. So if A is greater than B, okay, if A is greater than B, and here we have A greater than C. A is greater than B and C, then this is going to print A is the biggest. Okay. So for this if we have else here. For this if we have else here. Okay, don't confuse yourself. See, for this entire if, you see, this if I opened here and I closed here, inside this if condition only I have if else condition. Okay, so you know very clearly these two are mandatory. Which one? This one and this one. And if you are coming with this one, then definitely printf statement is going to print A is biggest value. And if A is not biggest, then automatically what? C is the biggest in this case. Okay, for this if, this is else. Okay, for this if, this is else. Okay, right. Now we will proceed. So as per this inputs, let me take inputs like 3, 2, 1. Okay, so 3, 2, 1 we have. So according to this input, 3 is assigned to what? A, correct? 3 is A is equal to 3, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to 1, right? So A is the biggest. Okay, where it is A is biggest? A is biggest here. So we will check. So 3 greater than B, which means 3 greater than 2. Condition is true. So if the condition is true, next statement what we have inside this if. Inside this if we have another if that also will be checked once this is true. Okay. So if A greater than C, okay, if A greater than C, you see if A is greater than C, in this case, A is biggest. Okay. Else, okay, else in the sense, if B is, if, sorry, if, wait 1 minute. Yeah. See, if A is greater, then it is going to print A is biggest. And if C is not greater, then automatically what will be printed? C is greatest. actually C is the biggest one. Okay. So here you see, if this statement is true, then A is going to A is the biggest value it is going to print. If this statement is false, which means if C is greater, then else part what we have, C is biggest. Clear? Okay. Now let me change the values of A, B, C. Assume that A we have, let me write here for understanding purpose. First input we have seen. So assume A is equal to 2. Okay. B is equal to 3. Then C is equal to 1. Okay. So now we will assign these values 2, 3, 1 in the place of A, B, C. Okay, inside the program. Okay. So when A is equal to 2, so A is equal to 2, B is equal to what? 3. So here the condition fails. If this condition is failed, this entire thing which is inside the if condition, which if condition, this if condition, whatever we have inside, this will not be executed. This will not be executed. So if this is false, then else part will be executed. For this if, where we have else, here we have else. Okay, this will be executed. Now, as per this, B is greater, that we know. And here also again condition will be checked. B greater than C. B greater than C, we will check B is equal to 3, C is equal to 1. Yeah, now we check B 3 greater than 1. Yes, condition is true. If this condition is true, what statement we have inside this else if, that will be printed. That is nothing, B is biggest. B is biggest. So for this input also, our program is working properly. Okay, no issues. Okay, let me remove this. Let me put 1 in the place of A, for B 2, for C, let me give 3. Okay, so now in this situation, what happens here? So you see, A is equal to 1. Okay, we will assign 1 here. B is equal to 2. Okay, we will assign here. As per the condition, this condition is going to fail because 1 greater than 2. If here it fails. So as we know previously, this entire statement will not be executed because which is inside the if condition. For this if condition, if it is true, then only this part will be executed. This part now presently for this inputs, this is failed, which means it returns false. Once it returns false, the else part will be executed. For this if, where we have else we have here. Okay, so here in else, B greater than C. So B value is 2, C value is 3. So 2 greater than 3. Obviously this is not true. So it is going to return what? False. Which one is going to return? This condition is going to return false. Okay, so if it is false, then this statement is not going to be executed. Then which one will be executed? For this if, we have what? Else here. Once this is failed, which means if it returns false, then else part will be executed. In else part, what we have? Printf C is biggest. So C is biggest in the sense, as per this present input, A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, C is equal to 3. C is greatest, right? So C is biggest, it will return. Okay. So this is all about this program. So this is the flow, how it works. And also no need to confuse yourself. Usually on shortcut, I will tell you, you can remember this program very easily. See, number of inputs you see, number of variables what we are dealing with. We are dealing with three variables. Okay, number of if statement you count. 1 and one more nested if. This is nested if. Okay, if you have any if condition inside the another if condition, this is called as nested if, we will call. Okay, so one if condition we have here, we have another one. Okay, so 1, 2, and where we have if condition, here we have one if condition, we have 3. When the number grows, okay, when we are dealing with 3 numbers, the number of if statement will be 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. For all ifs, we need what? Else. For all ifs, we need else. That also we will count. So here we have one else, here we have one else, and here we have one else. So 3 ifs, 3 else we have. Only one change is we have here one nested if. That is the thing. And here we have else if. Okay. And one more additional point, we will not give any condition for else. We will not give any condition for else. Only if holds what? Condition. So you can notice here we have condition. For this if we have condition. For this else we don't have condition. If you are giving, the syntax error will be thrown. And here you can see for this if we have condition, and for this else we don't have. And you can ask me one thing, here we have else. See, you have else along with if. In this situation, condition has to come. Okay. Otherwise, it will throw error, syntax error. Okay. Right. Now, you all have problem with giving the flower brackets, right? Flower brackets. Let me explain quickly. Look at this. See the first bracket. For this condition, I have opened here and I have closed here. So once I click on this curly brace, left open curly brace, it is highlighting with red color, that you can notice. And coming to inside of the if condition, you can see once I click on this, see it is highlighting with red color. So we have to open and we have to close it. In else part also we have to do the same thing. And this entire if has to close here itself. Okay. See, no if condition, no if condition should not be closed. Without the curly brace, begins and ends. In the sense, here you see all the if conditions we have curly braces. Here we have open and close, and here also we have open and close. This is the best practice we have to take. Okay. If you have only one statement after the if condition, no need to use this curly brace. But you keep this practice. Okay. Okay, right. And coming to else if part, in else if part also we need what? Open curly brace and close curly brace. And this two else belongs to else if. And for this if we have else here. Okay. Let me summarize it. See, for this if, where we have else here. For this if, we have else here. For this if, we have else here. Very simple. Very simple. Okay. That's it. This is about biggest of three numbers. Those who have problem with C language, you watch this video again and again till you get familiar. Other is very hard to remember. Okay. So the comment part I left here itself. Let me comment it quickly. So this is for first if condition to compare the value of A and B. Okay. Let me put in small letter V, and this one to compare the value of A and C. Okay, this statement to print is biggest, and here we have else statement. If the if condition, let me put it in capital. Okay, if condition fails or returns false, else part will be executed. Students, see, these are these statements you can write as a theory. Theory, no need to prepare separately. The program explanation itself a theory. So once you understand the program, no need to prepare theory. Easily you can write the examination. So your thing is, you have to understand one thing. You have to understand the program. That's it. Once you understand the program on your own English, you can write it. Okay. This statement is going to print what? Prints C is biggest. Prints C is biggest. Which one to be? Which one will be printed? C is biggest will be printed. Okay. And here, if statement scope ends, okay, and where it begins, here it begins. If condition scope begins here, okay. Next, else statement begins. Okay, let me quickly read. Comparing B and C, else scope begins, else scope ends, prints B is biggest. And this else if the if condition, which if condition fails or, sorry, excuse me, returns false. Which if condition? This if condition. Okay, false. Else will be executed. Okay, and else begins here. Else begins here. Else ends. Prints C is biggest. Okay, and at last we have one curly brace. This is what? Main function scope ends. That's it. That's it, students. Okay, so you have to practice how to give commands for all the programs. Then theory part, no need to prepare. Just you take one program and try to comment it. Okay, in the beginning it will be hard. Slowly you just practice it. Then you will come to know everything. Okay, thank you. We will see in the next video.